Jennifer, a 23-year-old young woman, found herself at a point in her life where dependence on her parents was a comfort rapidly fading away. Her job at a small cafe was a result of necessity, not pleasure. Despite her days being filled with the aroma of coffee and the constant buzz of other people's conversations, she yearned for something more, a lifestyle that reflected luxury and ease, starkly contrasting her modest and laborious daily life. Each day, Jennifer served countless customers, her eyes rarely meeting theirs, her mind always drifting towards desires for a richer life. However, everything changed one sunny morning when the cafe door swung open to reveal an elderly gentleman. He was not a typical customer. His upright posture, elegant attire, and the distinct shine of his watch spoke of a life filled with abundance. His presence stirred Jennifer from her usual apathy. She straightened her posture, adjusted her apron, and walked over to him with a more genuine smile than any she had ever offered before. "Good morning, sir. Welcome to our cafe. Can I assist you with a special order today?" Her voice held a mixture of enthusiasm and respect. The elderly man, sensing the special attention, responded with a kind smile. "Good morning, young lady. I would like an espresso, please. And if it's not too much trouble, I'd like to know your name." Jennifer, feeling a blush on her cheeks, replied, "My name is Jennifer, sir." "And yours?" The gentleman, with a playful look, said, "Call me Donald. I think we'll be seeing quite a bit of each other around here." She was no longer the disinterested young woman behind the counter. She had transformed into an exemplary employee, always attentive to Donald's needs, always ready to provide the best service. Jennifer, awed by Donald's ostentatious wealth, now saw a unique opportunity to ascend in life. With each passing day at the cafe, she nurtured an even more attentive and dedicated demeanor, seeking to enchant that man who represented the gateway to the world she so desired. One day, as she served him the usual espresso, she gathered her courage in a skid. "Mr. Donald, I couldn't help but notice that you are a businessman. May I ask what field you work in?" Donald, sensing the interest shining in Jennifer's eyes, smiled enigmatically, and taking a business card from his pocket who to go missing minutes he reached out to us with me. I decided to do something that made him unslange him. 3 men pocket delicately placed it on the table. "I am the owner of Sportsmax, a chain of sports equipment stores," he revealed. Jennifer heart raced as she contemplated Donald's name printed in golden letters on the card. "It's an honor to meet you, Mr. Donald. I've always been interested in the business world, and I believe I have a lot to offer," Jennifer said, a gentle determination permeating her words. Impressed by Jennifer's assertiveness, Donald decided to offer her an opportunity. "We are always on the lookout for ambiguous people. Why don't you come work with us? Let's see what you're capable of." Jennifer, with gleaming eyes, promptly accepted the offer, seeing it as the beginning of her path to prosperity. It didn't take long for Jennifer to shine at Sportsmax. Her dedication and ability to attract major clients did not go unnoticed. She was the company's new rising star, and Donald couldn't help but feel proud of his discovery. Their closeness grew, and the exchanged glances were filled with increasing complicity. At business meetings and social events, Jennifer and Donald became inseparable. She, with her youthfulness and charisma, and he, with his wisdom and experience, formed an unbeatable duo. With every contract closed, with every handshake, the bond between them strengthened, and Jennifer saw her world transform, becoming increasingly immersed in the wealth and power that Donald represented. The future, once uncertain, now seemed full of promises and luxury. With the doors of luxury open before her and Donald's opulent life enchanting her senses, Jennifer realized that the wealth she longed for was within her reach. It was a game of seduction and power, and she was ready to play her cards. Her gaze became more intense, her words sweeter, and her gestures filled with calculated delicacy. "Donald," she murmured on a starry night as they strolled through the lush gardens of his mansion, "I've never met anyone like you. Your wisdom, your generosity, they inspire me in a way I never thought possible." Her eyes met his, a mixture of vulnerability and desire. Donald, sensing the change in the air, hesitated. He felt the web of seduction forming, but something in the sincerity of Jennifer's gaze made him question his own reservations. "Jennifer, he began, his voice rich with hesitation. "You're an amazing woman, but the age difference between us is significant. Are you sure this is what you want moving closer?" Jennifer gently touched Donald's face. "Age is just a number. It's what we have in our hearts that counts, and I feel something deep for you. Something I've never felt before." It was a dangerous game, but Jennifer was willing to take the risk. Against his better judgment, Donald succumbed. Hesitation gave way to a romance that grew in intensity and passion. Jennifer, now immersed in the extravagant life that Donald provided, adapted easily to opulence, sophisticated dinners, and exotic travels. The moon hung high in the sky, illuminating the splendid gardens of Donald's mansion when Jennifer, in a stunning dress that accentuated her youthful beauty, approached him with a determined sparkle in her eyes. "Donald," she began, her voice as soft as silk. "We've shared incredible moments together, and I feel it's the right time. What do you think about sealing our love and getting married?" Jennifer took a risk, but all she wanted was to put Donald's wealth in her name. Donald, surprised by the sudden proposal, pondered. Jennifer was attractive, dedicated, and made a significant contribution to his business empire. Having a young and vibrant wife by his side could indeed be a valuable addition to his life. "Jennifer, this is unexpected, but I see sincerity in your eyes. Yes, let's get married," he replied, a gleam of anticipation in his aging eyes. Hiding her satisfaction, Jennifer began to plan the wedding meticulously and strategically. She molded herself into the perfect woman for Donald, captivating him with her attention and dedication, while orchestrating a wedding that, on the surface, appeared simple but behind the scenes was filled with extravagance. The rarest flowers adorned the venue, the menu featured exotic dishes, and the guest list included the elite of society. Jennifer glided down the aisle in a stunning dress, her smile radiating happiness, but behind it, her eyes calculated every move. After the wedding, Donald, noticing the extravagant spending, began to harbor suspicions about Jennifer's true intentions. They watched closely every transaction, every exchange smile, every toast to the couple's happiness. Donald, preferring not to dwell on his suspicions, was enchanted by his new wife, seeing in her the promise of companionship and love. After achieving what she wanted, Jennifer began to grow distant, spending lavishly, going out without explanation, causing Donald to have doubts about her true motives. Weeks passed, and the passion was fading, and Donald began to grow highly suspicious of Jennifer, suspecting her of being a gold digger. Fearing her true intentions, he decided to take action. "I need to know the truth," he murmured to himself, picking up the phone and dialing a long-kept number. "Detective Morris," a deep voice answered on the other end of the line. "Morris, it's Donald. I have a job for you. I need you to investigate Jennifer, my wife," Donald said, the weight of suspicion evident in his voice. Morris, a shrewd man with a reputation for uncovering dark secrets, accepted the case and delved into the shadows of Jennifer's life. What he discovered was more shocking than Donald could have imagined. Jennifer, the loving and dedicated wife, was leading a double life. Detailed reports and photographs revealed that Jennifer not only skipped work, maintaining the facade of dedication, but she also spent Donald's money on secret dates with other men. Each revelation was like a blow to Donald's heart, betrayal cutting deeper with each discovery. Sitting in his dimly lit office, Donald sifted through the evidence, his face pale and his hands trembling. "How could I have been so blind?" he questioned, anger boiling in his veins. The love he felt for Jennifer was quickly transforming into a bitter sense of betrayal. Morris, looking at Donald, spoke in a somber tone. "Mrs. Jennifer is a woman of many secrets. I'm sorry you had to find out this way." Donald, with clenched fists, took a deep breath, trying to maintain his composure. "It doesn't matter. She won't get away with this. I'll make sure of it," he replied, his eyes sparkling with determination. The mansion, once filled with laughter and love, became the stage for a silent drama. Donald, with a broken heart, meticulously planned each step, determined to unmask Jennifer's true face and protect what was rightfully his. Meanwhile, Jennifer, oblivious to the approaching storm, continued her dangerous dance, unaware that the truth was about to erupt. With a broken heart and a mind seething with anger and betrayal, Donald sat in the dimness of his office, crafting a meticulous plan of revenge. The glow of the lamp on his desk revealed a calculated expression in his eyes. "I'll teach her a lesson she'll never forget," he murmured, forming a cold smile. The first step of the plan involved restricting Jennifer's access to money, a subtle yet effective act that soon began to erode Jennifer's confident facade. She, accustomed to a luxurious and unrestricted life, noticed the change when her credit card was declined at an expensive boutique. "I'm sorry, but your card was declined," the cashier said, looking at Jennifer with a mix of sympathy and curiosity. Jennifer, trying to maintain her composure, replied with a forced smile. "There must be some mistake. Please try again." However, the result was the same, causing her public embarrassment. Frustration simmered within Jennifer, but she attempted to keep up appearances, smiling at the onlookers while her eyes sparkled with irritation. She felt the tension building, but she was determined not to let Donald perceive her unease. At night, in the vast mansion, Jennifer confronted Donald. "Why was my card declined? What's going on, Donald?" Donald, maintaining a neutral expression, calmly replied, "Don't worry, dear. It must be a bank error. I'll sort it out tomorrow." However, behind the calm demeanor, Donald continued to orchestrate his meticulous plan, each step carefully planned, relishing in Jennifer's growing frustration. He saw his wife squirming under the pressure, but he was far from feeling sympathy. Each of Jennifer's actions served only to fuel the fire of his revenge, leading Donald to believe that every move was justified. In the silent expanse of the night, Jennifer, with a tense countenance and piercing eyes, confronted Donald in his office filled with antique books and sophisticated furniture. The atmosphere was laden with tension, with only the sound of the old clock echoing in the room. "Donald," Jennifer said with a firm yet quivering voice, "I can't ignore it any longer. What's happening with our finances? Why am I constantly humiliated with declined cards and unpaid bills?" Donald lifted his gaze from his papers and stared at Jennifer, maintaining a serene expression. "Jennifer, I've told you before. I don't know why this is happening. I talk to the bank tomorrow and we sort it out," he replied, controlling every inflection of his voice to reveal nothing. Jennifer studied Donald's face, searching for any sign of deception, but found only a calm and understanding look. "Do you promise, Donald?" "I don't know how much more of this I can take," she whispered, a solitary tear rolling down her cheek. "I promise, dear," Donald reassured her. However, as soon as Jennifer left the office, his expression hardened. He picked up the phone and dialed a number, speaking in a low and urgent tone with his lawyer, organizing the next steps of his meticulous plan. As the days passed, Donald continued to work in secrecy, meeting with his lawyer and bank manager, fine-tuning every detail of his revenge and ensuring that his fortune would be protected. He reviewed contracts, transferred assets, and created legal barriers, all while maintaining a facade of tranquility and ignorance. Jennifer, on the other hand, felt increasingly isolated and anxious, unable to unravel the mystery behind Donald's actions. She watched his every move, listened to every word, but Donald was an enigma, leaving her in a constant state of uncertainty and fear. Jennifer, always wearing a worried expression, tried to decipher what was happening behind the scenes of their relationship, while Donald, with an impassive expression, kept his plans closely guarded. One day, after a night when the moon seemed to hide behind dark clouds, the unexpected occurred. Donald, the pillar of mystery and wealth, suffered a sudden death, leaving everyone in shock and mourning. Finding him lifeless in the library, Jennifer let out a distressed cry that echoed through the walls of the vast residence. "It can't be, Donald." "Not now," Jennifer murmured, kneeling beside the body, her face wet with tears, while the cold night wind made the curtains dance. Donald's abrupt passing left a void, and the truth about his plans and machinations remained shrouded in shadows. Jennifer, now a widow, found herself on uncertain and precarious ground. With no access to the money and fortune she had once enjoyed, she faced an uncertain and threatening future. In the days that followed, the mansion filled with whispers and accusing glances. Friends and family arrived to offer condolences, but in the hallways hushed conversations about the nature of Jennifer and Donald's relationship and suspicions about his sudden death were exchanged. Jennifer, wearing a black mourning veil, moved like a shadow through the house, her eyes revealing a mixture of sadness and apprehension. What will happen to me now? Am I going to inherit this old man's wealth? She wondered, staring at her reflection in the ancient hallway mirror. Donald's lawyer, Mr. Thompson, watched Jennifer from a distance, his shrewd eyes concealing his knowledge of Donald's final wishes. The lawyer brought forth Donald's will. Donald's legacy, his achievements, and the company he had painstakingly built were now in the hands of suspicious executives and family members who cast sharp glances in Jennifer's direction. Mrs. Jury, the resolute and observant matriarch, assumed the role of guardian of the family's secrets and fortune. In the office filled with ancient books and imposing furniture, the reading of Donald's will brought a heavy atmosphere of anticipation. Every word spoken by the lawyer, Mr. Thompson, echoed in the tense silence. Jennifer, sitting upright with her hands intertwined in her lap, observed every face, trying to decipher what the future held for her. Donald's apparent indifference left her with nothing. Each clause was a blow, each inheritance destined for others a punch in the gut. Murmurs in the room grew, and expressions ranged from sympathy to veiled satisfaction, and nothing seemed to be left for her. However, at the end of the reading, a twist of fate. Mr. Thompson cleared his throat and announced, to Mrs. Jennifer, Donald has left a safe deposit box. Specifically, safe deposit box number 703 at the central bank, which will be exclusively in your name. A murmur swept through the room. Jennifer, her heart pounding, tried to maintain her composure, while her mind raced, imagining the possibilities. She hoped to become rich, to claim his wealth. She whispered to the lawyer, "Let's see what Donald has left for you, Jennifer." The gleam of anticipation in Jennifer's eyes lights the path to the central bank. Each step resonates with the promise of secrets revealed, and a cynical and confident smile plays on her red lips. The atmosphere in the bank is solemn, the high ceilings echoing with the murmur of transactions and destinies being charted. Led to safe deposit box 703, Jennifer feels her heart pounding in her throat. The possibilities of what she might find there dance in her mind, and the metallic sound of the safe door being opened is the symphony of a promising future. However, the reality that unfolds before her is like a cold and bewildering bucket of water, abrupt and disconcerting. Inside the safe, illuminated by the soft glow of the bank's lights, rests a coffee cup, the black liquid now cold and lifeless, without a grain of sugar. The same cup that Jennifer had served to Donald on the day their destinies intertwined in that small cafe, a symbol of meetings and deceptions, ambitions, and betrayals. Next to the cup, a letter with Donald's elegant handwriting reveals the words that send a chill down Jennifer's veins. "My dear Jennifer, life has a peculiar way of serving us what we deserve. I knew, from our first encounter, of your plans and ambitions. This coffee, bitter and cold, is a reflection of the reality you have built." Silence is Jennifer's response, her eyes fixed on the cup and the letter, the cynical smile now transformed into an expression of dismay and surprise. Donald's words echo in her mind, a samba melody of truths and consequences. As she leaves the bank, Jennifer walks like a shadow, the weight of the revelation bending her shoulders, the image of the coffee cup and the letter etched into her soul. The smile has vanished, replaced by a mask of reflection and regret. The future, once bright and promising, is now a field of uncertainties and shadows where truth blends with the bitterness of sugarless coffee that was today's story. Thank you for watching until the end, and until next time.